Hey, oh my gosh, February 14th, and we get to do a project, actually get to do a bunch of projects together here on Valentine's Day. So thank you for sharing it with me. I thank you for sharing the love. It is a great day. I hope everyone is feeling happy and joyful and is ready to design and have some fun together on this Valentine's Day. So I'm Julie. I'm here at Art Beads, and I'm actually at artbeads.com/live, but you might be joining me on Facebook or YouTube. So welcome wherever you are coming from. Thank you so much for joining me. Now we are doing this show live, which means if you comment and you are on artbeads.com/live, I can go ahead and I can see your comments and we could talk back and forth and we could design together. Like last week, we were making these earrings and some other projects together using some Pretty Raven's Journey and then design, and we designed together and we ended up making this incredible necklace, which was so fun. So if you are here on artbeads.com/live, thank you for commenting. I love designing with you. And I see Holly. Hi, Holly. Yes, my day is going well. I finished up all my cookies for my son's class. So I have this big sigh of relief. I had to make 80 cookies, heart cookies for my fourth graders class. And that was a little bit bigger job than I thought it was going to be. So I am good and I am happy. I hope you guys are happy too. I am seeing the hearts, which is great. When you tap on the little heart icon, I see little floating hearts, which is super fun. And then there's a share button, which is a little arrow. So if you want to share what you're seeing, you can share it. And there's also a shopping bag icon. So if you want to see what we're using, so like, let me show you a little sneak peek. We've got this really fun new designer blend that we're going to be using called the Ablaze designer blend. If you want to learn about that ahead of time, before I start to show it, click on that little shopping bag. It's going to show you everything in the entire show all at once. You don't have to wait. Then you can click on the images and it'll take you to the product pages where you can find out all the details. You can add them to your shopping cart. And I never go away. You still hear me talking. You could just click on me to make me big again. Hi, Robin. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so before I get started, a couple other quick things. If you are on another platform, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, and you want to be able to join in the commenting where I can see your comments, click on the link in the show description. It will take you right over here to artbeads.com/live. So then you can comment and we can interact. Also, if you're on Facebook and you see a product that you're interested in and a little product banner pops up with a black box and a code in it, type that code into chat exactly as you see it and we'll send you a link to that product so you can learn more about it as well and shop directly from there as well. So I really want to get going. I want to start designing. We've got earrings, necklaces, and a bracelet to do today, or maybe it'll turn into 3 pairs of earrings. Who knows? We are going to have fun as we go. So I'm going to flip my camera down and we are going to start to design. So give me a second right here. Hello, yard. Let's just flip it down and you can see what we're going to be working with today. So I have some fun stuff on my table here. So we are going to be, like I said, working with this new designer blend. So I want to show you what this is first. So in honor of Valentine's Day, I wanted to do something with hearts, but of course you can wear hearts year round. And these colors are not exclusive just to Valentine's Day. So you could definitely do something with them year round. So in this designer blend, I'm going to hold it up as best as I can. All right, so we have got hearts, we've got rounds, and we have these beautiful blue seed beads as well. And I'm going to start to pick some of these out so you can see some of the beads that we get to play with. So I'm going to put that down right there. So there are these hearts, and I'm going to call them strawberry hearts because I have a friend who I work with here, and she's like, oh, look at those cute strawberry hearts. And boy, they do actually look like strawberry hearts. So I really like those. Hi, Val. Thanks for joining us. And then we got these bigger hearts. Now, these are all part of Art Beads exclusive designer blends. So these are limited quantities. We found these beads. We literally found these beads in the warehouse, and we, as designers, Becky Dahl and Sarah Lovecraft and I, we handpicked what we thought would look really pretty together, and we designed these blends together. So they are beads that are really not readily available. They're ones that a lot of them are vintage or something that just hasn't been around for a really long time, and these are all on pallets, and we went and we dug and we got dusty and we had fun and we laughed and we played making these blends. So there's lots of different beads in each blend. And this one has some great rounds. It also has these like faceted rounds as well that we're going to be working with, which are really pretty as well. So, and then it's got these tiny little hearts, and my 4-year-old keeps trying to steal these. He wants them. He says, Mom, you got to give me one of those hearts when you're done. So, of course, I will, of course he's going to get a little heart for Valentine's Day. But they're these really cute little hearts. And then there's a couple different sizes of these blue beads. So there's a small and there's a large one. So a lot of different beads. And then, like I said, there's these really pretty, I'm not gonna be able to show these very well. Oh, thank you for all the hearts, guys. Hearts on Valentine's Day. I love the seed beads. It's kind of like an icy blue. Hi, Becky. Thanks for joining us. And Shelly and Eric, thank you for joining us. So this designer blend comes with a ton of beads. And so that is exclusive to Art Beads, and they are limited editions. Once they are gone, we can no longer make them because we really don't have the beads. You can't order the beads. It's not like we can order these beads from suppliers. Okay, really quick, just to show you variety. Here's another sneak peek at a different designer blend. This is a really pretty green beauty one, and I put the link in there as well. I was just thinking for St. Patty's Day coming up, this would be so pretty. You just see all those different bead shapes and sizes and cool things about these beads as well. So if you're wanting to get going on St. Patty's Day, this is great. So the designer blend is not in the window. So Val, what you could do is there should be a little shopping bag icon. If you click on that, it will have the designer blends in it as well. So, oh my gosh, Shelly, yeah, strawberries and blueberries. You know what, you are right. This is definitely a strawberry and blueberry blend. We should have called it that. That would have been a good name too. All right, I love that. Okay, so I want to show you what we're going to be making. So we are going to be making a couple pairs of earrings. So here's one earring we're going to be making. So you see it's a nice long dangle, and we're using that nice big heart. Then we're going to be making this little earring with the strawberry heart. So, and I love this earring hook. So if you want to find out more about any of these items, I really love unique earring hooks too. They are in that shopping bag. Then we're going to do some circular brick stitch. I had to use these seed beads. I could not use them. So this is a sample of what we're going to be creating, and I left it unfinished because we're going to tie it off together. So I'll show you how to start it, how to do the actual beading, and then how to tie it off. And then I made this little like charm pendant out of some of those pretty faceted one, and all these beads are in this mix. So we're going to do that as well. And then I thought if we had time, we would make a pretty little, and we have to call it strawberries and blueberries, like charm bracelet. And I did pull out some prestige crystal that I thought accented it as well. So lots of fun stuff to do. I think what I want to do is I want to start with the earrings. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put this. Let me see. I feel like I need more space than I have. Let me try to move this blend over just a little bit so I have some work surface. There's just so many beads. Okay, I'm going to move this aside, move this up. Okay. So let's start with this cute little dangly earring. And you see that's cool. It's got that white, just like a strawberry. It's got a lighter color on one side. And you'll notice that the color varies on these, which is really fun. So yours might be a little pinker. It might be a little more orangey. So that's fun too. It adds a little bit of a variation. Okay, so what we're going to be doing to make this pair of earrings is we're going to start with our little dangle. So to make our little dangle, we're just going to grab one of these small faceted beads, and we're going to grab a ball head pin. Hi, Gwen. Thanks for joining us. Okay, and we're just going to put it on it. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take our wire looping pliers. So these are my wire looping pliers. If you've seen me before, I'm here every Wednesday at 10 Pacific. I choose a wire looping plier over a round nose. Now, if you have a round nose plier at home, you can do this with round nose pliers. I just really like the wire looping. I just find it makes really nice, even uniform loops, and is super fast and easy. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using a pair of chain nose, a nice fine chain nose. I have a bigger pair of chain nose in case I need that flatter, wider width. And then I have my pair of cutters. So these are my basic tools that I'll be using. So we're going to go ahead and start with making a wrapped wire loop around this little bead. So to do that, we're just going to grab the wire just slightly above where it exits the bead. So there's a little gap right there, and you just want that to be able to make your wrappings. So we're going to go ahead, squeeze, and you see that plier just did the work for me. It just curved that. Okay, bend it down, rotate it up, crisscross. Okay, at this point, you could keep holding it in your pliers, or you can grab your chain nose, and you're just going to do some nice little wraps. Okay, you could do 2 wraps, you could do 3 wraps, whatever you like and whatever your space allows for. Trim your tail, and you're gonna tuck it in. And tucking it in is just so it doesn't scratch people, it doesn't catch on your sweaters, things like that. So there is our little dangle. Let's see if we can get that in focus. There we go. And then what we're gonna do is we have 2 options here. So you see I've got little loops on both sides here. I can either turn a head pin into an eye pin. You could use an eye pin, or I could just use some wire. I think I'm just going to turn a head pin into an eye pin because I really like showing that technique. Oh, hi, Julie from Colorado. Oh, yeah, where is everybody from? I am in the Los Angeles area right now, so I'd love to hear where everybody's coming in from. Okay, and then we're just going to make a little loop up top. Just rotate it, and then notch it back. So there you've got a nice little eye pin. This is a trick I discovered when I ran out of eye pins and I needed one for a project. I was like, Oh, Sacramento. Hello, my fellow Californian. Arkansas, nice. Okay, so now we're gonna take one of these very plentiful seed beads and we're going to put it onto our newly created eye pin. I think my camera is getting a little distracted with all of this stuff in the background. Let me see if I can scoot some of it away, guys. It'll be a little messy, but my tables are usually messy anyways. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're gonna take our heart bead, our strawberry bead. Tennessee, Canada, Illinois. Thank you guys all for joining me. San Antonio, is great that we're all coming from so many different places, but we all share the love of beading. Okay, I'm gonna take one more little seed bead. And now I'm going to make a simple wire loop up top. Okay. Well, I hope everyone is having a really wonderful Valentine's Day, pampering themselves a little, showing themselves some love. Okay, and we just trimmed it. So now we're ready to connect our pieces together. So to do that, I am going to first make sure that my loops are nice and secure. Just wiggle them a little bit so that they're nice and closed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and open this bottom one, slip on my little dangle that we just made, and then close it up. And now we're going to go ahead and attach our earring hook. So we have our pretty long earring hook right here, and we're just going to attach it. And there we got our nice pliers there. Oh, Cindy, which pair of pliers do you want? Which one is calling to you? I love reading the comments. This makes it so like we're beading together, we're jewelry making together, which is so fun. All right, there's our little earring. So you see that didn't take very long, but we've got a super cute strawberry hearts earring set, and that we can set aside as being done. Now we're gonna make another very different pair of earrings. So this is a nice long dangly earring. And you see we've got 3 sections to it, and we're creating wrapped wire loops each way. Oh, the loop making one. Cindy, you will love them. I cannot live without these. I love these. So I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. They are fun and they save a lot of time. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to start this time with a head pin, and we're going to find one of our bigger hearts. Okay, so here's one of our bigger hearts, and I love this color. Okay, so we're just going to put that heart on there, and then we're going to get one of our, let me see if I did this. It is one of our smaller blue beads. You get a couple sizes in this blend. Okay, and now we're just going to make a wrapped wire loop up top. Okay, rotate. And twist. And don't forget, if you have to ever step away or you want to go back and recreate these projects once your supplies arrive, all these videos are saved. They're all archived. And you just go to artbeads.com/live. You'll find all the old ones by myself, by Sarah Lovecraft, Tammy Hahnemann, Becky Dahl. So all the designers here, soon to be Deb Floros. So you can go ahead and watch the replay and then see exactly how to go back and make all of these. Oh, Robin, I'm glad you can see how the wire looping pliers. Yeah, I'll be using them a lot more today. So you can buy the pliers right here. I believe our great team over at Art Beads just popped up a banner image with them. You can also find them in the shopping cart, but they're very cool. Okay, so now for the next segment, it's too long to use a head pin that we just cut the head off. So we're going to use some wire. So what I'm using is artistic wire, 22 gauge, and I'm just going to cut a length of it. And what's nice is all the finishes match really well on what I'm using today. So I know that that's always something as designers we take into account. Okay, so I think I'm just going to do about 5.5 inches or so. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with these wire looping pliers again. And we're going to start about 1 inch down, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. And we're going to squeeze. There, it did that nice bend. Push over, so we've almost got our full loop. Just take that short end and crisscross. And so we got a nice loop right there. Now what we want to do though is we want to open up that loop just a little bit so we can slip on our pretty dangle. So when you're doing wrapped wire loops, you have to slip it on before you make your wraps. Okay, so now we're going to go back with these fine chain nose, hold that loop, and do a couple little wraps. And this is 22 gauge wire, so this is a bit thicker. So I really don't feel like I need to do so many wraps on it. It is a little bit of a thicker wire. In previous videos, we've been using 24, we've been using 26 gauge wire. So, and that just flew across my room. I will have to go find that before the kids get home because that was just a piece of wire that flew across the room. Okay, I like to tuck my ends. Oh, yay! Tara just got her wire looping pliers in the mail. Oh, I hope you have so much fun with them. Have fun playing. Okay, now we're going to use one of our bigger beads, one of our bigger blue beads. And we're going to put on 2 of those pretty orange faceted ones. So we're using that same bead in a lot of different instances. So we've made a little dangle out of it here as part of this connector. And then we're going to make actually this little charm pendant out of it too. So a lot of different things we can do with the same bead. So that's what's nice is you get so many beads in this mix that you can always go ahead and use them for different projects. Okay, so this one we are going to do a full wrapped wire loop. And we're going to do our wrappings anyways because we don't have to connect anything to it at this time. So there we go. We crisscrossed, have that tiny little loop. Okay, a couple little wraps. And tuck it. So we're just building it up from the base down. So you can see where we're at. We got one more little connector to make, and we are going to just do that with a little bit more wire right here, but a little smaller length because it's fewer beads, so we don't need quite as much. But you get so much on here. How much do you get? You get 8 yards. So you're getting 24 feet of wire. So it really feels like you can give yourself the flexibility to just give yourself enough to work with and not, kind of get yourself into a corner where you don't have enough. Okay, so we're going to make another start to a wrapped wire loop. Oh, it is so good to hear you guys say that you love watching, that you're learning. And Leah, welcome from Maine. That is one of the places I have never been, but I really want to go to. I've heard it is beautiful. Okay, so we made our little loop. Okay, again, this one though, we need to connect to our previously made loop. So we just notch that open. If you can kind of see, I just ever so slightly notched it open. And now we just take our finished loop. Oh, thank you guys for the hearts. Hearts on Valentine's Day. And we're just going to pinch that closed. Now we're going to do our wrapping. Hi, Kat. Thanks for joining us today. Okay, do a couple little wraps. Oh, not in the winter, Holly. You were born there in Maine. Yeah, I've heard it gets very cold. I must admit I am quite used to the little bit warmer weather now in my life. But I love seeing the cold. I love being in the cold and the snow for a little bit. And I do miss that. Okay, so we're going to put our bead on. And then I do want to look at what my earring hook looks like. So this is going to be the earring hook. It does have a little notched opening. So we can go ahead and make our full wrapping right here. Oh, Leah lives on the coast. Those are the pictures I've seen that I really want to look and see what the coast of Maine looks like. It's so beautiful in the photos. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so of course that's the opposite coast. And that was always nice to see the Puget Sound and to see, all the ships and be near the water and the ferries. I loved all of that. Okay, we're going to trim it. We're almost done with this earring too. Do we need to finish our orders before the end of the video? No, you don't have to finish before the end of the video. You can just add it to your shopping cart. The only thing I will say is some of the items are limited stock, like the designer blends for sure. And then sometimes the components and things do sell out. So if there's something you really want, especially if it's a designer blend, I would definitely check out when you can, as soon as you can, just because they do tend to go out of stock. I do know the show I did last week, which was super fun with all the Raven's Journey. We sold out a lot of items from that show. So that's the only thing is if you want to make sure you get it, it is good to close out your cart. But you can definitely keep watching as you do that or do it right after the show. Okay, we're just going to notch that up. Yay, we made our earring. So we have 2 earrings done now, and I'm going to move those guys off to the side. But again, you can see how that looks. So we got all those little wrapped wire loops. So those are fun. And then we got the long danglies. So I think these would be lovely gift items too. And I'm always, of course, thinking if you're making gifts or you're selling jewelry, I love these blends for that because you just get so many beads to play with. Okay, I'm going to move those off because I want to have a little bit of a clearer spot. So I want to do the circular brick stitch because we've been doing some wrapped wire loops. We've been having fun with that, but this is a totally different technique. So let's go ahead and start on some circular brick stitch. So let's see. I will say that I did my sample using this one. So this is Fireline and it's the 4-pound weight. So this is a really, really thin Fireline. And you can see that. It is very thin. So what that does is when you're looking at this from afar, you can see a little bit of it, but it doesn't become a main element of your design, the fire line. So we're going to do a single row of circular brick stitch around this pendant. So this is Zola Elements, and this is a nice pendant. I like it a lot. For the demo, I'm still going to be doing the 4-pound weight, but I'm going to switch over to smoke, just in hopes that we can see it a little bit better. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab some fire line. If you are doing the entire surround here, you're going to want about 24 inches. I'm going to have a little bit less because I know I'm going to demo it and then show you how to finish this here. Okay, so we're going to cut some off. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to tie it around the end right here. So that's going to be your anchor point. So you want to leave about 6 inches of a tail to be able to go back and put your needle on it and finish it off. So I've actually just gone ahead and made like a little loop ahead of time. And I'm just going to slip that right on here. Okay. So we've got that one tie on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie another knot. I just want to make sure that's secured. I'm going to go pass through twice and bring it down. Okay, so this is the end we're going to be working on. Here's our tail. We're not going to do anything with it right now, but we are going to be putting a needle on the long end of it. Okay, just like so. Okay, so to do circular brick stitch, which is my favorite stitch, I would say, I use it the most, because you can do it on the inside or you can do it on the outside. And technically, if you wanted to, you could even do circular brick stitch on a larger scale using some of these bigger beads too. So there's a lot of variety of what you can do with it. Okay, but what you do is you pick up 2 beads to start. So you got 2 beads on your needle, and you're going to slide them down so that they rest on the inside. So now what you want to do is you want to bring your thread towards the back, and I'm holding those 2 beads. I'm going to loop around the front and up through the second bead. So basically you're trying to make this little guy sitting on here, and the first one's always the hardest, and then it gets a lot easier. So if you can see how those guys are kind of sitting on there now. I don't believe the Zola Elements comes in this silver, Julie. I wish it did, but I don't believe so. We can double check that for you. I think I've only seen it in silver. So now I'm going up through that second bead. And when I pull it, I'm going to try to show this as best as I can. So you see it's now sitting on top there. What I'm going to do though, to give myself a little bit more of like security with it, I am going to go back down through the first bead. And I realize this can maybe be a little hard to see with these pretty transparency blue beads. Okay, and then I'm going to go back up through the second bead. Okay, so now it sits a little bit better. It's a little bit more anchored. Let me just show you what we have. There we go. So we've got those 2 beads just like that. And I can pull it down with my finger to kind of make it sit better. And then Kat, that is great feedback about wanting more silver items. So definitely, if you guys have requests, this is the time. We get to see all these comments, and it's wonderful to see like what you guys would like, because that helps us guide what we buy, what we demo, what we show. So thank you, Kat. And like, if anyone else has any suggestions of things they would like to see, definitely let us know. Okay, so let's see. Oh, silver including bead mixes. Okay, that's really good. We have some new bead mixes coming out soon. So it'd be good. You know, I don't remember exactly what they are, but I do know some of them had silver in them for sure. Oh, and Robin's a silver person too. Okay, great. Good, good, good. I think this green one does have some silver beads in it, so you could easily pair this with silver. Some of the reflection on it is silver. We could show that more in a little bit. Oh yeah, silver is pretty with turquoise too, for sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 1 bead now. So the first time we picked up 2 beads, Now we're going to pick up one bead. Gonna let that guy slide on down, or help him slide down. Okay, so he is right there, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure our thread goes to the back again. And then this little guy, we're gonna go back up through him. So you help him sit on that interior rim. So now we're gonna go back up through him. Okay. And then we'll pull it. And what these do is you can scoot them over, but you see they're starting to create a row. And this is where the replay might come in handy if this is a new technique to you and you want to be able to watch it and replay it and pause it. All these videos are saved. So again, we put one more bead on. Okay, and you see how that bead is right there. I've pulled the thread to the back. I'm making it sit right on top. And then I'm going to go back up. Does the needle size matter? Not particularly. Whatever you're comfortable with, as long as it goes through the bead, the needle size, I don't really find matters. I know we all have our favorites. I kind of tend to grab whatever is handy for my needle. Okay, so now we've got 4 beads. So I'm going to do one more because this is the same technique. You're just going to do the entire interior surround. But hopefully we are getting a couple good images here of close-ups of these beads sliding down and sitting, so you get the idea of how to do circular brick stitch. Okay. And then we're just going to go up it again and pull. So that's why you're getting these stripes. So now you're getting the stripes of the thread and you're seeing those beads line up. And you can do another row too. You can go all the way around here and then you can do another row. So you can make multiple rows of this. Okay, so that is how you do circular brick stitch. I'm going to take my needle off, and this is what it'll look like when you've finished all of them. And you see how the fire line, crystal clear, really does disappear a lot more. You can see that pretty blue color come through. Oh, the Zola Elements comes in silver. Oh, thank you, Julie. That's great. I didn't see it, so that's great. Thank you. Thank you guys for being helpful. It is so nice. As I've been doing more and more of these shows, I'm so appreciative of everybody helping each other and encouraging each other. It is great. Okay, so I want to show you where we left off. So we've done all of the surround, and here we're just exiting as normal. So if you had more space to do, this would just be like you would continue on and continue to do it. But now I'm going to show you how to tie it off. Okay, so I just need to try to rethread this. So if you have troubles rethreading, what I like to do is I take my nail and I kind of squish it and just pull it that way. It tends to make it a little flatter to be able to go through a needle. Okay, I had it and then I dropped it. So I have to say this is probably one of the hardest things, is threading a needle on camera, looking around the camera to be able to thread it. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so there we go. And hopefully I don't drop it. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so we've got that on there. So now what you want to do is where you were exiting, so you're exiting that last bead, so you want to go back through the one next to it. So if you can see where my needle placement is, so we exited the last bead, but we're going to go back through the one that is next to it and just pull. And then we're going to go through the one next to it. And we're not looping around the outer form anymore. We're just looping, or not looping, we're just going back up and down through a couple beads. Okay, so we're just moving our thread and needle away from the end, basically. I'm just going to go down one more. So if you wanted a row on the outside, how would you go through the last bead? Would you just start over on the outside? Yes. So if you wanted one on the outside, that's a great question. Let me just pull this. So if you wanted one on the outside, where you exited here, you would just, let me think how you would do it. You would basically need to get your needle and thread to the outside, but then you would just do the same exact technique until you got to this side. So you would probably go up and down through a few side beads here, then work your needle back so that your needle can be going this direction out the last bead. And then you would just do the exact same thing. And you would just run your needle when you go to the other side right here along this interior edge so that you would be not, you don't want your thread, of course, to come on top of this row. So it's just a little bit of fiddling to begin with, and then you'll get into a nice routine. So that would look really pretty too, though. Yeah, or you could even go ahead and do another row here. So there's lots of things you can do with a circular brick stitch. Okay, so we are now right here. We've gone through a couple beads. We've got that. Now we just need to tie a few knots. So you can do this in a couple ways. You can snake under one of these thread bridges. You could also just go up through another bead. If it's easier for you, you could go up through another bead and be on the outside, and then one of these thread bridges are very easy to go through. And this is very thin fire line. And just make a little loop. See, I've got a little loop right there. And go through it. Make sure it all stays on the right side. Okay, there we are. And make a little knot. And then what you can do is you can go through the next bead and basically pull that knot down and into the beads. So you can tie knots wherever you can find a comfortable space. And then I think the fire line in Smoke and Crystal should be in the shopping bag. So if you just click on the shopping bag, it should have everything we're using. And then I know our great team, Eric, is there, and he is popping up the bigger pictures of the items too as we use them. But if there's anything you need, it should hopefully be in that shopping bag, or we can quickly add it if I missed anything. And let me know if I missed anything. That's super helpful. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've done that a couple times. We've made a couple knots. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to trim your tail. So we just got scissors here, trim it up close, and we finished it. Now I did go ahead and I finished the other side ahead of time because I wanted to be able to use this in a project. If you still have your tail hanging out, so wherever my other sample went, okay, if you've still got your original tail hanging out, you would do the exact same thing. You would thread a needle onto it and then just weave it in and tie little discrete knots. Okay, so there we've got our pendant. So what I wanted to do, or what I was thinking of doing, if you guys have a different idea, let me know. I was thinking of either creating one necklace or two necklaces. And let me show you what I was thinking. So it's either going to be a double necklace, like a layered double necklace. I got this really pretty chain. So I was either going to connect both necklaces. Oh my gosh, I just tangled my chain. I was so excited. Well, that might be a little fun to undo. Okay, there we go. Both necklaces to one clasp, or make two separate necklaces that you can layer. But for the other focal, I wanted to make this little pendant charm. And so this is going to be very easy compared to our circular brick stitch, but I want these to layer like this. So my vision is you have this necklace on, you have it like this, you either have this one resting inside of it or up top, depending on the length that you want. So that was the idea for this necklace design. But let me show you how to make the other focal pendant. We're going to go back to our wire, and we are going to grab about 8 inches, and we are going to put on it 5 of these. Well, you could do blue too. I did a blue sample as well. I'm going to do the orange, but you could also do blue. We're going to put on 5 of these pretty little faceted orange ones. No, Julie, I would not say the Zola elements are too heavy to make earrings out of. They are actually very light. So great, great question. And thank you for asking. That is so helpful, I'm sure, for everybody. So these are actually light. You could definitely even make this into an earring. You could make, you could wrap more beads onto it. They're very lightweight. Great question. So we have our beads. And we're going to crisscross. And I didn't mean to so abruptly say, no, Julie. I just realized I said that. I was trying to answer your question without asking it first so other people know what we're talking about. But Julie asked if this was too heavy to make an earring out of. And it's lightweight. You can definitely make an earring out of that. And I'm sensitive to heavy earrings, and I would not worry about wearing that. Okay, so we're going to curve this. We're going to gently curve it. You want your wires to cross, just like so. So you've made them into a little round. So you have a little surround. And now what you're going to do is you're going to crisscross your wires where you've got one that you're going to wrap around. Okay, so you've got this one here. You're going to wrap this one around it just a couple times. And what you can do is the one that you're not wrapping, you can take your plier and you can notch it up straighter. So it's a little bit straighter coming out of there. And again, this is 22 gauge wire, so it's pretty thick. I'm not feeling, if this is 26 gauge wire, I'd feel like I'd have to do more wraps to make sure that this is secure. But it's 22 gauge, so we're okay. Oh, Beth makes jewelry but doesn't wear any. Yeah, I know. A lot of us are like that, I think. I used to wear more jewelry, and then when I had my kids, they would pull on it. And so I kind of got out of the habit of wearing it. But now that they're older, I'm wearing it again. And then we're going to tuck our ends. Oh, Cara, great idea. More non-jewelry type tutorials, keychains, decorations. That would be fun. Okay, so now we've got this. All we have to do now is make a loop up this top side. Again, with these wire looping pliers. Push that wire down and crisscross. And we're going to take this and we're going to make a couple more loops. And you can make this messy too if you wanted to. You could do a bunch of just messy wraps up here, or you could keep it simple. Ooh, ear cuff tutorials. Julie, that's a great idea. That'd be good with wire. I'm trying to think how we would do that. Yeah, that's a good challenge because I don't think I've made an ear cuff before. So I think that'd be a really fun challenge. Okay, so we've got our little wraps up there. Actually, and now if you didn't want to do this, you've got two little focal pendants or focal charms for earrings. So you could easily make those into earrings too. Oh, bookmarks are fun. Yes, bookmarks are very fun, Holly. Okay, so to turn these into necklaces, we just need a couple jump rings. So I've got a couple little jump rings. I think these are 4.5 millimeter, and I've got my chain length. So this was 3 feet of chain to begin with. I did not bring a ruler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first cut my 3 feet in half to give me two 18-inch lengths. Of course, you can measure this and make it whatever length you want. I just did not bring a ruler here today. I've actually not been able to find my ruler for a while. So totally forgot about that. But let's make this one about 18 inches with the clasp, and this will be about a 19 inch. You could definitely make this shorter or longer. So then to find our other middle point, ooh, I like, Amy calls the messy wraps tornado wraps. That is a great name for it. You guys are coming up with the best names. Tornado wraps, and then we have the blueberries and strawberries named for this mix, in addition to hearts ablaze. So I love that. And if you're new to this, I am just cutting the wire. I'm just cutting a link, and then I'm separating it out. So there we've got the two strands, and we're just going to connect with jump rings. So we're just going to open up a jump ring, and we are going to connect it to the last chain link on here. Okay, so that went through nicely. So you see how that chain is on there. And then we're just going to connect it to the little loop on our Zola elements and close it on up. And you just want to make sure this one is closed up really nice because that chain is a very delicate fine chain. Oh, it's still on there. There we go. Kind of snapped at it though. Okay, so there you've got one side. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Oh, Beth was watching on YouTube and saw those wire looping pliers. Yes, they are so great. So great. I can't think of another tool that I love more or that do such a great job. Like, they're the only tool I use for making loops. I struggle when I actually want to go back to regular round nose pliers because I'm so used to the ease of the wire looping. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on the other side. Okay. So there we've got our main necklace. And then we're going to add, let's see. Oh, and Beth is saying she makes all those loops with those cone shaped. Oh, are you talking about these? These type? Where they got like two cones? Yeah, these are like the traditional round nose pliers, which I do have, but I do, like I said, I default to the others because they're just so easy to use. Okay, so now we just need a jump ring and a clasp on the other side. So I have a couple different sizes. So if you look at the shopping bag and you want to see the details, I actually have 3 clasps in this project because I didn't know what I was going to use. I have a little traditional lobster, and then I have these ones which are more of like a long, sleek lobster and a shorter version of it. So you'll see in the description the measurements. I'm going to go with this little bit longer, sleek one, but I wanted to give variety. Okay, so what we'll do is we are going to take another jump ring and we're just going to open it. And we're going to attach it to the end of this chain. And actually, I think what I'm going to do, before I go any further, where's that other piece of chain I had? Okay, I had this other piece of chain. I'm going to cut a couple inches off of it so it's a little shorter. And I'm going to save that for an earring. So do not get rid of your chain bits. They're great for earrings. And I think what I'm going to do is at the same time, I'm going to put on this jump ring, the end chain link of the second piece of chain. Okay, and we're going to slide on our lobster as well. Okay, and now we're going to close this one up. Oh, I keep snapping them. I think it's because I'm working a little bit of an angle. So I just want to make sure they're closed. Okay. Okay, so that's all closed up. And so we've got that, and we've got that secure on there. Oh, thanks, Beth. It's so good to hear. So she found us on YouTube. She just found us just today. That's wonderful to hear. Thank you for joining. Well, we have lots of fun here. We have lots of different tutorials by different designers, lives all throughout the week, all different types of projects, all different types of jewelry design. So a lot of fun stuff. We all genuinely love what we do and just enjoy each other's company. So thank you for joining. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the other side, and I have let me find it. I have a larger jump ring. Where is it? I thought I had a closed one. Okay, let me see all my pile. I have a pile of stuff. Okay, maybe I've just got let's see. I have so many jump rings here. Here, do I have closed one. Yeah, I think this might be a closed one. So I've got a bigger jump ring that's going to be the other half of my clasp. But what I'm going to do is, because I like to have a little bit bigger jump rings for the other half of my lobster clasp, just because I don't want to have to like fiddle with it too much. I'd rather have a bigger spot to grab onto. So I'm going to grab one more of the smaller 4.5 millimeter jump rings. So let's see. Let me open this guy. I think it's a flat cable. So I'm reading the comments as we go, and Val is asking, is this a cable chain or flat? It shines, so it almost looks like a flat cable to me. It should be in the product description though, exactly. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the other side and we're going to attach this chain end. So this was the longer chain that we made into about a 16-inch. And then this one here, so we got two of these. 2 chains, and then we'll put this jump ring. So that is going to complete our clasp. Okay. And so if we go back here, okay, so this is what we've got. And then we can attach our clasp so we have the full set. Just like so. So there's your construction method. And now you see, since we have this one that's shorter, it's going to hang up higher, which is what I wanted. And now I'm just going to take one more jump ring, and it can be a smaller one, it can be a larger one, whichever you like. I think I had a couple sizes in there. Maybe I'll use a slightly larger one. Okay, slightly larger one that's open now. And we're going to just hang it on to this little charm we made. And we're just going to put that right on here. So just slip it in there. So now we have the pretty kind of aqua blue and orange. So these are great spring summer colors, very cheerful. And we finished our double strand necklace. I'm trying to think of the name for it. It's like a layered necklace. So there you go. So that is the finished look of the necklace design. And you can make it longer or shorter. So we've got that. And then if you're just joining us or you joined us a little bit later, we did make some earrings earlier, so you can watch the replay. Here's one of the earrings we made. So it's a pretty heart right here. Oh, it's Denver Broncos colors, almost. Yeah, Beth, you're right. And then here's the other earring we made. So again, you can watch this on the replay over at artbeads.com/live. And if you guys want, I still was going to make a little bracelet, or I can at least show you the techniques for the little bracelet. I have a much bigger chain, a much heavier chain for this. Oh, thank you, Haley. Thank you, Robin. I'm glad you guys like this. These are these cute little hearts that come in this mix, and I wanted to show you how, especially to make them into dangles. So I'm going to show you this real quick. So again, no ruler, so I'm just going to see what this would fit on me. And then I am going to go ahead and cut the link. Okay, I just gave it a good cut, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and now open it like a jump ring to separate it out. There we go. So now it's separated out. That was easier than trying to do multiple cuts, but I just gave it one good cut. Okay, so there's the length of my bracelet. And so to attach the clasp, I'm going to use, I think, this little heavier clasp. So I'm looking at the weight and the scale of the project and then deciding on the clasp. But I can use the same jump rings. So if you buy a designer mix and you just buy some good staple findings, like a couple sizes of jump rings, head pins, things like that, you'll be able to use them for multiple projects. Okay, let me see. Actually, where's my bigger jump ring on this one? Here, this is my bigger jump ring. Okay, open that up, slide it on, slide on the clasp, because it's a little bit better scale. Okay, so there's the clasp. So you see how quickly and easily we can make jewelry. We can really make these bracelets, like a bracelet like this. It doesn't take long. It's just cutting the chain to the length you want and then adding, and we'll add a second jump ring over here too to be the other half of the clasp. And we're just going to put that on that end link as well. Okay, so I was thinking like a little charm type dangle bracelet, like a little charm bracelet. So what we can do is we can lay this out right up here. So let's move our other project up. Okay, so we're going to lay this out. So you got these cute little dangles, and you could do this for a necklace too. And then what we can do is I want to show you. Let's go back to our mix. We got all these beads still. I want to show you with one of these little hearts. And then I was noticing in this green mix too that we were talking about, there's these little leaves. So you could do the same technique I'm about to show you with these little leaves from this other designer blend that we just released, just launched. Okay, so this is very easy. I like this because I like easy. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of wire. And I always have struggled with what to do with those front drilled holes. So I hope you like this too. So this is 22 gauge. We've talked about how it's a little bit stronger than the 24 or the 26. So we just have a cut piece of wire about 3 to 4 inches. And we're going to just slide that down to the middle. Then we're going to go ahead and pull it up. So we're pinching it, and then we're going to crisscross it all the way. So it's like sandwiched in the middle there. So this is what we've got. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take one side of it and kink it up. So it's standing straight up from the actual bead. Okay, and then this one, we're just going to wrap. Actually, we don't even have to wrap. That's what was so great about this. Yep, now I remember what I was doing. Okay, so then we just, where it crisscrosses, we trim. So you've got that little like triangle happening there. So for then this top one, and this is, you can do if it's 22 gauge or thicker. I would not do this with a thinner wire. Okay, we're gonna go back to our wire looping pliers and make that loop, bend it down, pull it around, where it crisscrosses. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Where it crisscrosses, we made our little loop, and then we're gonna straighten it up. So we made like a little figure 8, and it's strong enough because it's a little bit heavier wire. And I was so happy when I figured out how to do that because I'm constantly having these beads that are drilled on the side drilled or front drilled, and it was just like, oh, how do we use these quickly and easily? Okay, do it again? Sure, I'll definitely do it again. Let me add our little charm to our bracelet though. So I just opened that simple wire loop, and I'm just going to pick a place to put this on. And then I will just close it on up. Okay. So then we've got these little dangles. Okay, so let's do it again because we got lots of these little hearts to play with. And so let's grab some wire. Okay, so we have our wire. We're gonna put it in. We're just gonna slide it down to the middle. Yeah, bending loops over and over. It's very entertaining. I know, it is fun. Okay, we're just gonna basically pull it up, pinch it together, make them crisscross fully. So you want a good full crisscross. Okay, then you wanna take one side and you're gonna notch it up so that's standing upright from the bead. Okay, the first one you can trim where it crisscrosses. Okay, and now we're going to do the wire looping pliers, and we're just going to bend it, push it down, rotate it, and crisscross again, and you have your little loop, and you're going to trim it. And we're gonna just go ahead and we can open this one up now, and we're gonna put it on our bracelet. And if you wanted to, you can make bigger loops with those wire looping pliers. Let me show you real quick. So just real quick, since we're all having fun with loops and wire looping pliers, I'm just gonna take this head pin. So here, we make a nice little delicate loop, right? So it's, where's my focus? I think the beads are getting in the way. Okay, there we go. So it's a nice little loop. But let's say you wanted something larger scale, you've got this tapered. So you could go further down on the body of it and do the same process. And you have a very nice big loop. So a lot of different things you can see how to do and things you can do, and you can make them all different sizes. So that's so fun. Oh yeah, Loopapalooza's show is coming soon. Yes, we are talking about having a show, just showing every designer's way of making loops. Because like I mentioned before, we have shows by Sarah Lovecraft and Becky Dahl and Tammy Hahnemann and all these wonderful designers and Deb Floros. And I think we all make loops differently. So I think we definitely want to do a show just about making loops. Okay, so I would probably add more. I do want to show you real quick. I picked out some complementary colors of Prestige Crystal to this blend that I thought it'd be fun to do little dangles with. So I have a Rose Peach, and these are all in the shopping bag too. I have an Aquamarine, and I have a Crystal Golden Shadow, and these are all 5mm bicones. So if you are playing with this mix and you want to add even a little bit more sparkle, peach is the Pantone color of the year, so we're seeing it a lot lately. And so it's fun to be able to just add a little bit of it. But if you want, we can just make a little dangle here. Or actually, we could even layer it. We were having fun doing that the other day, the other video. But you could do like a dangle with the blue and then the rose peach on top. Okay, so Beth is saying that her hardest part is after she makes the loop and goes around it 3 times and cuts the tail, there's always a tiny sharp. Yes, okay, let me show you. So let's make the loop. Okay, we're making the loop. There, we've got our nice little loop. And let's give a little help with this little technique. Okay, so we go around a couple times. Okay, so you go around a couple times. Some people like to go around 2, some people like to go around 3. Some people just like 1.5, and then you trim it. And I think what Beth is saying is the tiny little sharp is that right there. Yep, you do end up with that. So what you do is you take your chain nose, and then what you do is you can squish it into your wrapping. So you take it and you actually pinch it very gently with your chain nose. And what happens is that little sharp piece just goes into your wrappings. And you keep doing that very gently all the way around. And then that little sharp piece disappears. So I hope that helps. That's a nice fun thing you can do. That's pretty easy. But we just made a little dangle, and then we could have either done it where we didn't finish our wrappings and attached it ahead of time, or we just can take a, kind of liking the larger scale jump rings on this one because the chain is heavier. Just take a jump ring and attach it to our pretty little charm bracelet. And you could keep adding all of these little dangles, as many as you want. All right, guys, this was so fun. Okay, so I didn't finish the charm bracelet, but you would just keep adding as you go and you'd be able to finish it. But we did finish the necklace. So you've got this layered necklace, and then we got that circular brick stitch, and then we made our heart earrings, our strawberry heart earrings, and we made our really nice long dangly earrings as well. Here we go. And then, I'm just trying to read the comments too. Beth, you're thinking that you do yours a little too tightly. You know what? It could be a little tight, and then maybe that's why it's giving you a little bit of trouble. You could do it a little bit looser. Again, everyone does loops differently, so it's really a matter of comfort and preference of what works for you. But if you are feeling like it's giving you troubles, you could definitely try to do it a little bit looser. All right, guys, let's see. So we have all these beads left. Oops. I'm going to try to move these so we can see them. We made all that jewelry. We still have all these beads left. And I do now need to forever call this a strawberry and blueberry mix, even though I know it's called the Hearts Ablaze mix. We still have a ton left. And then real quick, if you want a little sneak peek for St. Patty's Day or just spring, we have this other beautiful mix as well. This is called the Green Beauty mix. And you see, there's a bunch of seed beads down there too that you get with the mix. So you could do circular brick stitch. You could do a lot of different projects with this as well. So that's super pretty as well. And then got our jewelry, and then you can always watch the replay if you want to go back and see how to do this. Okay, I'm going to flip my camera up real quick so I can say goodbye. Okay. All right, we did it. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy Valentine's Day. If you do have some items in your cart, please make sure you do check out in a timely fashion. If I know that the bead mixes in particular are limited supply, and some of the findings are too. So thank you for joining us. Watch the replay if you want to go back and see how to do this again. You can see all the replays from all the different designers at artbeads.com/live. Don't forget to share if you liked what you saw. And I love the comments. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Gwen. Wherever you're watching us from, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or artbeads.com/live, thank you for being here and being part of this and sharing your Valentine's Day with me. So Becky Doll will be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. She'll be doing, I believe it's a really fun bracelet. And then we'll have Sarah Lovecraft on Friday. So that will end up our week. But then the whole week starts over again next week with more fun. And next week I'll be here again at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. So thank you guys. Thank you. Have a great Valentine's Day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. And I'll see you next week.